All in Texas is done. So let's sit back, kick an ash, and let's cross it out. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CrossYouOut podcast. And of course, I am your host, Eric Cross. And in today's show, well, oh man, it was a almost, I don't want to say almost, it was an incredible show for All Elite Wrestling. All in today, All in Texas, at the Globe Life Stadium. And it was one of the best shows they could have put on all year. First things first, let me get into this real quick. As you can see, this is kind of the new setup for when I do my single by myself, interviews and myself for the CrossYouOut podcast. The CrossYouOut podcast is still going to be here. I will still do this when I have some EDC stuff that I want to show off, some cigars that I will get into as well. But for the most part, as you also may know, we have Foods on Films, and that will be the secondary videos that will come up. Again, those are probably going to be more. Those are going to be probably more uploaded than the CrossYouOut podcast, but we will still be doing this. I will still be doing pay-per-views. I will again do my EDC stuff. I would do my cigars. That's not going to change. The podcast itself with the Foods on Films is going to be the new venture that we're going to be doing. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a bunch of us, a bunch of friends. I've known each of I've known each of them except Art, maybe for the last 3 or 4 years or so, almost, maybe a little bit more. But I've known Che and Santana for like most of my life. So it was only natural for us to come together, wanted to do a podcast, talk some shit about old school movies we've seen. And again, we will also be doing movies that, that are new as well. But for the most part, it's going to be that. So again, don't worry about this. This is still going to be here. So just wanted to get off the bat with that. I kind of don't want to go into the pre-show, the 0 hour. The Sons of Texas won their match with the Iron Claw on everybody. AJ, Big Boom AJ, won his match with the conglomeration, and then FTR picked up the victory against the Outrunners as well. So that was to start the show. So first things first, let's look this up real quick. I want to make sure I get the attendance for All In. Let's see. You always got to put this before what it is. So let's see. So the attendance, the event in Texas drew 25,671 fans in Globe Life Stadium. That's pretty much 94% full of the show. Obviously, you can't fill the whole entire arena. The entrance has to be in a certain place. So that I'm pretty sure is going to be the highest, one of the highest in the top five, maybe highest events that attended events that AEW has put on, and that's pretty goddamn amazing. They need to keep up doing shows like this, and that's, as I like to say, chef's kiss. So the first match was the Ops versus the Death Riders. The Ops pick up the victory, but they also, in doing so, injuring Samoa Joe with the chair around the neck and stomping on it. It, you know, this match, not so entertaining. It was more of a story filler to fill in for the main event later on. But, it is what it is. The Casino Gauntlet match, MJF and Mark Briscoe started off the whole thing. There was, the usual suspects, the returning of Juice Robinson. Really nothing kind of big happened. It was just, your normal gauntlet match, but MJF did pick up the victory on that. He is now the number one contender for the World Heavyweight title, and you kind of saw that coming. You look at the promos that have been cut for the last couple months. You can kind of see that MJF and Hangman have been kind of rekindling their flame from before. But, it is what it is. Let's see. So the vacated. Okay, so Adam Cole had to vacate the title due to injury. This does look a little bit severe than before, and it's crazy that he has gotten injured again. What do we do with that? What can we do? It's only time can tell if he's going to be able to come back into the ring and be better than what he was. I wish him some speedy recovery, and I hope it's not a career ender, because he's been injured a lot, and it gets to a point where what do we do? We can't put a belt on him. We can't he's gonna vacate it every single time, and as a business, you got to look at it that way. Yes, you can have compassion about the person being injured, but you got to figure it out. All right, so there was the vacated TNT Championship. Dustin Rhodes versus Daniel Garcia versus Kyle Fletcher and Sammy Guevara. The winner is Dustin Rhodes, winning his very first singles title in AEW. Very emotional as well, and it's really cool seeing that he won the title, and he is now the TNT champion. But at the same time, as a very much a wrestling fan that is very critical sometimes, was it worth putting the title on him? But we'll see. I could be wrong. He could have a fucking amazing title run, but that's here nor there. So yes, Dustin, congratulations on winning your first singles title in AEW. He is one half of the ROH Tag Team Champions. He's also one half of the six-man or the Trios Champions they have over in ROH as well. So yeah, congratulations again. So let's go on to the next match. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks are putting up their EVP status. If they win the Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay will have for 1 year no longer be able to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's pretty big. That's yeah, that's my fault. That's pretty big, but at the same time, it's just like why do that? I know to kind of depower the Bucks in their um, you know pretty much power hungry. The Young Bucks are, but this was a good match. I really enjoyed the back and forth, the super kick, catch a super kick, do that whole sequence for them to go to a four man double down or four down, as they might call it. But it was good. It was a good little series of events for it, and then man, it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Um, the the back and forth, who's gonna win it? Could the Bucks win it? But unfortunately, the Bucks do lose their EVP status. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland hit a dual. What is it? What does he call it? The hidden blade and the house call. Uh, you know, combo on Matt Jackson and pin Matt 1, 2, 3. So it was a good match. It was a really good match. And then we go into the women's Casino Gauntlet match. Um, I mean, it was really no big surprises that came out. I mean, there's a lot of women that are free agents right now, and could have appeared, but at the same time, it is what it is. The women's gauntlet winner is Athena. She wins a shot at the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, as well as herself being the ROH Women's World Champion. So that's going to be good. Title match. I don't know if it's going to be title for title, but possibly could be. Really good winner. I really didn't. I really wanted Willow Nightingale to win. Um, that would have been a good one. But it also would have been a good. I mean, you know, who else do they have? Uh, I mean, all the women there are kind of mid cardish. Thunder Rosa probably could have won. Um, yeah, I mean, they went with the right winner. I think that her getting a women's world title match for the the AEW Women's World Title is pretty good. So I approve, I guess. So let's go on to the AEW Tag Team Title match. The Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Pinnacle. Christian Cage and Nick Wayne versus Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight versus the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Benjamin Shelton. It was a good match, really good. It was you can tell that this was just kind of like, okay, we're trying to build something to this. FTR was out there on commentary. MJF and MVP were also out there as well, and the entire what is it? The Pinnacle was out there as well. But good match. The Hurt Syndicate pick up the victory. You're still your AEW Tag Team Champions. The aftermath of this match. Let's go from there. Christian bumps into FTR or gets thrown into FTR, and then they get back into the ring. Bobby Lashley and Christian reverses. He's about to hit something. Boom! He gets pushed back into FTR because FTR tried to get up on the ring apron. Christian, I believe Christian got pinned. Maybe. Anyways, so they're about to they're FTR's in the ring. They're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Christian gets up. Nick Wayne and him are he's just like, you know what, leave it, let it be. We're out of here. And right when Christian's about to leave, Nick Wayne turns on him and could start an entire new program with Nick Wayne and Christian, as well as possibly a little bit more. Then the FTR, Nick Wayne, are about to hit Christian with the concerto, and all of a sudden the music hits. Here comes Adam Copeland, and the only problem I have for this, the only problem with this, and I have to kind of sit up a little bit for this, is that the fact that Adam Edge, whatever the fuck you want to call him, goes and runs to the side of the stage to hype up the crowd, then goes into the middle of the fucking ring or into the middle of the runway and does his pose for the fireworks to hit. And meanwhile, Christians is still in the ring on the floor. There's and this is the worst thing about professional wrestling that I hated doing. And I've done this, and don't get me wrong, I've done this probably a bunch of times. But the fact that I'm looking at the entranceway, like, and not beating the shit out of the person that's in the ring that I was beating the shit out of. And it's just the Jeff Hardy thing where he came out and he's dancing and Matt's still getting his ass whooped. It's ridiculous. It really pissed me off. I was like, why is he posing for the fireworks? Stop it. Go and help him. But that was just me. I don't know. So anyways, what is it? Yeah, so we might see an FTR Edge and Adam Copeland match. You know, Nick Wayne and you know, somebody else teaming up with him, and it is possibilities. All right, so we go to the women's world title match. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, and Timeless Toni Storm picks up the victory in an amazing women's match. I absolutely love this women's match. It was great match. Also, you know, that Storm Zero off the top of off the second rope, absolutely incredible. This is the first loss for Mercedes Moné, and yeah, man, I couldn't have had it any better. It was an absolutely great one-on-one women's matchup, and the fact that they have built this to get Moné over as well in defeat, and get her over even more, but also keeping Toni still at the top of the pedestal and still trying to um, continue to be that women's dominant champion that she is, and I have no problem with it. I have no problem with her being the women's champion for this long, as well as being so dominant. I have no problem with that. But it's just me, I guess. Let's see. Great match for the undisputed championship. The um, Okada versus Omega. This one was, this was going to be good, and let me also say this: the fact that Okada and Kenny, they might not have the pep in their step that they had in New Japan, and you can tell, it happens. Over the course of years, they have fought over numerous years, and it bound to happen where the match they've had is not going to be the match that they're going to have. But with that being said, even still, even though kind of having a misstep, kind of not, not being that that dominant type, I still think they had an amazing match. I still think that their match was absolutely perfect. Another classic in the Okada Omega series. I'm not sure what the series is at right now because, I they have so many matches in New Japan, and I wasn't really paying attention to New Japan. I watched their matches, don't get me wrong, but off the top of my head, and kind of getting into this, but nonetheless, Okada is now your new undisputed champion. He is, or unified champion, which is good. They finally, got an idea of saying, hey, we have too many belts. This is too much. Like, let's cut them down a little bit. So unified champion is Okada, which again I would have done a little different on the finish, but still works out perfectly. Okada hits the Rainmaker, gets the win, and is your new champion. All right, so we go to the main event of the evening. This started, I believe, at 10. I think so. 10. I think the pre-show started at 10, something like that. 10, 11, 12. And then, yeah, it went on for a while. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm extremely exhausted from watching this show. But we go into the main event. Jon Moxley, the champion, going in versus the number one contender, Hangman Adam Page, in a Texas death match. This crowd was into the whole entire show. They absolutely were there. Pretty much every hit, everything, every kind of thing that was going on, the crowd was all eating it up. This match, even more. I feel like this match got them to go, ugh. There's a lot of stuff that, right off the bat, Moxley's all busted open, getting hit in the head with a fork. There's just so much stuff that I'm just like overwhelmed. There was glass, there was barbed wire, there was chairs wrapped with barbed wire, there was tables with barbed wire on it, there was a bed of nails, a Darby Allin coming from the sky, a Bryan Danielson wearing a lucha mask on. I forget what lucha was it, but Daniel Bryan coming in, or Bryan Danielson, sorry, Bryan Danielson coming out Um, and it was crazy. It was a crazy match for for this whole this whole time that John Moxley has been the world heavyweight champion to lead up to this moment. I felt like they were going to pull the trigger, but at the same time, I was like, I mean, maybe another month if anything with John Moxley as the champion, but for them to pull it off like this and for them to do it like this was actually pretty good. Back and forth, back and forth. It came down to the fact of Swerve Strickland, even though everybody has come out, the Death Riders, the Bucks, um, you know, Darby, Bryan Danielson, you know, who else? Who else came out? Will Ospreay. Um, Will Ospreay getting wheeled out because he got the same thing as Samoa Joe, stomped to the neck with the chair in the middle, with on his back. Swerve was the deciding factor in this. Swerve um, pretty much helped Hangman Page, and this bitter rivalry, excuse me, I feel is still not done, but for now they can coexist in the same ring and in the same company, so to speak. But came down to that, and Hangman Page is now your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. This show was jam packed, and it was absolutely amazing. So if you get a chance, go check it out. If you didn't get to see it, um, the the whole time, I mean, the show, damn, it was amazing. So, um, yeah, that's all in Texas. There is going to be another episode of Foods on Film. I believe either coming on Friday, maybe, or maybe a little bit sooner. I don't know. Whenever I do finish the editing, but there will be another episode, and you know, for the CrossYouOut podcast, I will be doing another episode maybe in the next couple weeks, couple months, maybe. I don't know. Whenever I get something new, I would definitely want to showcase it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Cross out. Go check out the podcast. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. It should be right here. But if not, then you just go down to the bio or the description and go check out the link for the Foods on Film. So with that being said, Cross out. Good night, everybody.